Mistress Munchkin and the Plutonium Dragon, Part 3. Our story so far. Mistress Elfrida Munchkin has been living in a small cottage on the top of a cliff, sent there by her druid order to magically babysit a nuclear reactor known to her as Lumpy Bum. Despite her supposedly living alone, Elfrida's cottage is rather full, what with the twin spirits of place, Maelgwyn and Gaelgwyn, and her somewhat awakened helpful household implements, Fusser, Stuart, Bowley and Cassie the Cauldron. Using her prodigious druidic power, Mistress Munchkin has managed to avert a nuclear meltdown by channeling off all the toxic energy as Lumpy Bum began to blow. When we left our heroine last, she had just begun to realise that the energy she'd trapped hadn't simply dissipated, but... And so our story continues. "Great goddess, what have I done?" she said then, in a soft voice of both wonder and horror as she struggled to her feet and swayed there on the cliff, buffeted by wind and shock equally. There, coruscating in the air, floated a vasty silver thing of flumes and flows. Great ribbons of it drifted away in all directions, and two great wingish or finish bits spread out to the sides, though they did not flap. It had a long, graceful neck and a huge frilled head with a short, tilted-up nose and wide-set eyes. It hung in the air and flowed and drifted, and all that shining iridescence made Elfrida think of one of those Siamese fighting fish, the beautiful ones that were kept all alone in little glass cages to stop them murdering each other. The being was beautiful, no doubt about it, but it might also be deadly. Somehow this scintillating thing had been born of the explosion. Radiation and waste products and energy that had to go somewhere. "Oh my," Elfrida said, putting hands on sturdy hips and looking up at the beast, very glad of her intact radiation shields. "Well, I didn't expect you, you beauty." The being began to telegraph its head towards her, neck stretching and stretching, seeming unfettered by such silly things as bones or joints. Ribbons of energy flowed and waved around the face, which rather resembled a pug dog, a fishy sort of pug dog anyway. "What did you expect?" it asked her, tilting its head and peering at her curiously with those large silvery purple eyes. Its voice was pure and genderless and rang in her ears like music. "I expected death and destruction as far as the eyes could see, but not beauty. No, never beauty," Elfrida said. "But you are beautiful, creation of mine." Unafraid, she put out a hand and gently stroked the fans of silver and purple that drifted around the thing's chin. She could feel them. They were silky and soft and real. This was not a being of pure energy, not like Maelgwyn or Gaelgwyn. It was flesh, some sort of flesh. The creature floated effortlessly there in front of her on the cliff, seeming to enjoy the touch of her hand, and after a few moments it settled down to the grass, though its streamers still drifted weightlessly all about it as if in water. It reached forward with a giant hand, a finned and yet fingery sort of hand, and stroked her hair where it had escaped her braid and curled down her cheek. "Are you my mother?" it asked as they stroked each other. Elfrida laughed. "In a manner of speaking," she said. "Do you have a name, O beautiful one?" "How could I have a name?" it asked her. "I did not exist until now." "Well then, since I am your mother, I will name you," she said, "and I name you Dragon." She caressed the chin of the being again, and it smoothed its silky pug face against her hand like some huge cat, large eyes staring at her with loving intensity. "Do you like that name then?" she asked it. "I'm not good at naming things, but I think that is a good name for you." "I like it, though I am not a dragon, and I don't think I am a dragon. Or I don't think I am a dragon," the being agreed. "I'm not sure what I am." "I think that you are a new creature," Elfrida said thoughtfully. "I don't think there has ever been anyone like you before. So you aren't a dragon, but your name is Dragon, and that is better than Fishy or Pug, which I might have called you if I hadn't thought of a dragon when I first saw you. How do you know what a dragon is, or a mother?" "I do not know," the being said, and one of the streamers of silver and purple reached out to her and wrapped around her, gently holding her. "I only know that those are things that are not me, but that one of them is your name and one is mine." "No one has ever called me mother before," Elfrida said. "That has not been my life path, but I welcome you to call me that now, if you would like." "I do like," said Dragon, and its pure voice sounded as certain as it had so far. Undertones of bells rang in the tone, and when the being leapt up into the air, and the fins or fans or wings or whatever they were flowed widely outwards in all directions. She knew it was an expression of happiness. Colour and light flowed around her as if she was underwater. "Mother!" the dragon roared. "Mother! You are Mother and I am Dragon!" It began to flit all around the night sky, seeming to be able to move any direction it wanted with no need of flapping or any other sort of mechanical movement. "Well," Elfrida grumped to herself, even as she smiled at the dance of joy her strange child was doing. "I have made you and named you, but I have absolutely no idea what to do with you. What does someone do with a giant being made of light and poison?" And that is the end of chapter 3. Thank you very much for listening.